Good morning, physics students. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for working on that. I know a lot of you went out to your cars yesterday and looked, and it is kind of weird to see that. It's weird to kind of think, I know those things are there and I know what's going on. So I'm going to do a few diagrams today. Excuse me, I already did a few diagrams today, and I will, just like I did the other day, scan them on the color scanner so you can see that. And the first few only have one object, and so therefore they only have one image, but we're going to kind of do the same thing like we did with the gray and the black mirror when we started really close to our face and ended up moving it farther away and noticed what happened. So on diagram number 1, the original arrow is always drawn in the permanent marker. For the first 3, the fourth one I did something else that's kind of unique, and then I have my arrows going in and out already. Remember, the one that probably looks bluish black when you either get it on the scan or right now as I'm doing it, the one that is in blue is going straight towards the mirror and then bounces up away. The one in red goes towards the focus and then bounces straight off. So that's what is always the case. The blue one always goes straight towards the mirror and then bounces up as if it was going through the focus. The red one goes towards the focus but then bounces straight off. So on this first diagram, my object is relatively close to the mirror. We're really pretty close to it. If we're kind of close to the mirror, oh, by the way, on all of these, it will almost look exactly the same. When I pick up the next paper, it will almost look like a repeat. And because of what's going on, I think I'm able to do something that you can kind of see through my papers. So F is the same on all the papers. Here the arrow, the original object, this permanent marker arrow, is relatively close. And if you notice, the image, this arrow right here, I drew it in pen because otherwise my permanent marker would have been kind of crazy, is quite a bit shorter. It technically is a little bit like closer and things like that. And there's a couple things that are kind of weird like that. But every single time we're on this, no matter what we would do, we would always get a smaller image. So here's diagram number 1. What I'm slowly going to do as time goes on is move my object back. So if you notice, my object is now farther away. Because my object is farther away, yes, the image has moved a little bit farther away. But if you notice, it's still like, this is how close it would be to the mirror, and this is how close this is. So the image is closer, the image is smaller, and then this is what I was going to talk about. And this is what I'm going to try to do, and you might be able to do this. Right now, you can kind of see that they're lined up. This one's closer. The original object is closer. The original object is a little bit farther. Excuse me, I meant to say object, not image. And if I line these up, that you can kind of see through there a little bit. Yes, the heights are different, but do you see, you can kind of see through right over here, and you can see how it looks like the farther I get away from the mirror, the image is getting closer to this focus. All right, so if I move farther back yet again, I'm even closer to the focus. And guys, the way this works out, because of how these rays go, you would never move past the focus. I think if we move further and further back, I think if this moves further and further back, this is just gonna get closer and closer to the focus. So again, I'm gonna compare the first one to this third one right now. So if I held them like this, you can kind of see. But again, if we were in class together, I would pass them around so you could kind of hold them up to the light like that to see. Let's see if I can do that just a little bit to help you see a little bit more. Yep. See, so this top one with the darker, because it's closer to you, it was closer, but the farther we move away, the closer it gets there. Okay? All right, this last one that I have right now is going to explain why those of you who went out to the car yesterday and worked on looking at the rear view mirror on the passenger side saw what you saw. This is a very complicated picture because I already have it done because I wanted to do that. But I want to tell you something, okay? I'm going to cover some things up so you can't quite see the answer yet. My mirror is about right here where my fingers are lined up, okay? Right there would be where my mirror is. You can see parked behind our car or whatever, we have a shorter red object, maybe it's a car, and then a taller purple object, maybe it's a house or tree or light pole or something like that. As you can see, the car is closer than the tree. The car is shorter than the tree. And they appear to be quite a distance apart from each other. And I know you're like, well, what are you using as perspective here? But as you are looking at this, again, like I said, I already have everything. Do you see on my purple one, I have the purple one going straight towards the mirror, and the blue pen mark, I had to switch it up because I was using colors with these markers. The blue one is going towards the focus, and this one, the red one's going straight, and the blue one is going towards the focus. Now, as we get over here, can you tell how when we hit the mirror, when we're going towards the focus, guys, I know I'm trying to look and see that I can see it. Do you see how those 2 points are getting really, really close together? Well, if I move this out of the way, and I know this was hard, and if I would have tried to use my markers again, it would have been really, really hard. The red one was closer. So if you look at this, the red one is still kind of closer. But if you look at that, which one of those two looks taller? And if I hold it really, really close like this, and when you get that, but it's really hard to tell the difference between which one is taller and which one is shorter. Over here, it was very clear which one was taller and which one was shorter. Over here, it's kind of like if somebody has their hair done or not a certain day. Are they taller or not than the other person? Okay? And they got really, really close together. So that kind of explains what you saw yesterday. Guys, these would have looked even closer to the same if I would have made the purple arrow the same height as the red arrow. Okay? And so that kind of explains what happens in mirrors. Again, these are all convex mirrors because of the way they're curved. I didn't get to yesterday. I got busy once I got to school to scan a few, not scan a few pictures, to upload a few pictures, but I'm going to be working on that. So listen, you get 4 of these today. I'm going to scan them. I'm going to ask you to kind of look through and evaluate, make sure they make sense. There is a 5th one that is blank. It's going to show up at the end, and it has some instructions. To get your points for today's video, I want you to kind of redraw that in your notes. Remember, doing a convex mirror is a little bit backwards, which is why I'm including all of these. Yes, you do go towards the mirror and bounce off, but remember, this blue line went straight towards the mirror. I had to think about going through the focus, but my solid line is off the mirror this way. My dashed line is back towards the focus. Same thing, I would think about going towards the focus. That's what my red line is doing. I lined up my ruler and went towards the focus, but I had to stop at the mirror and bounce straight off. But again, I had to extend that back. So I have 1 for you to attempt. It's kind of like in between. I would like you to look at mine, but then when you're actually working on it, do it like independently. Like don't be looking at these other ones that have kind of answers on them. Please try one on your own. Send me a picture of it on an email and just give me a real quick couple sentences about how you think ray diagrams are going. If this whole thing is making sense to you, okay, guys, I know we only have a few days left. We can make it through till at least tomorrow. I'll have another video for you to look at and observe just a couple things tomorrow, okay? Have a good day. Miss you guys. Bye.